Hey guys, super stoked to be here, running into Olivia Piana, of course, doesn't need to have any introduction, and we're going to do a little bit SUP wing foil crossover talk with her, because after all, she is the first SUP athlete, I want to say from my perspective, that I saw on the podium last year, maybe in Tarifa or somewhere, getting into wing foiling sport coming out of the SUP, and I was super stoked to see that. Wondering, of course, how many more people are we going to see from the SUP World crossing over, and once you crossed over, will you cross back? So many interesting questions from this background to Olivia. First, I'm really curious, how do you experience the community, the race, the organization, everything in the sailing sport in compared to the paddling sport?
There is many things like in common from the SUP and the wing foiling, because the people are so nice, like Franz Balzmüller, Tito Angalea.
Yeah.
These kind of people are super strong but super taking it easy. So that's what I like on the competition. And yeah, it's I feel I'm living the beginning of SUP 10 years ago, but with the wing.
Yeah.
And it's going so fast, It's every month, every week there is something new, and a new event, new tricks, new speed record, and
the limits are being pushed so hard.
Yeah, Balzmüller,
it's crazy.
Crazy
He hit that guy, and we saw a double backflip from Tito just on his social media. So, but what I'm really interested in is thinking about, let's take a flashback, Turtle Bay 2013. Yeah, you remember that's probably when the first time we all met.
Yeah.
And now take this. Is the sport of wing foiling now where that was in 2013, or is it already progressed more in far as organization goes?
It's hard to say, because it's a bit different. It's not the same thing, but being able to compare a bit, it's we are athletes. We are making the sport in the way we want. We are a community talking to each other and say, okay, what do we do? What is fun? What is not fun? Because we want the sport to stay what is it, and wing foiling is what it's just fun, and you can sail wherever you want, whenever you want, with less wind, with shitty condition. The shitty condition are great.
Yeah.
And it's we are inventing stuff together, and that's what we did also in Turtle Bay, in the many places in the world.
Yeah.
And it's great to live it, because you can feel the power of the athlete, of the community of this sport, and this is great.
Yes. So are there any certain rules, are they working on a rule book? Is there I heard something in foiling it's so complex. You have the size of your wing compared to your body weight can give you a certain advantage. You have small, high aspect, small, they're going are there any rules coming with weight classes, or what you can use, or
a bit, but it stays simple. It's just
simple.
They put the limit of the 700 front wing for the racing.
Okay.
Because we don't want the sport to go into performance like they did in windsurfing, super expensive gear.
Yes.
And you are first because you have the first gear. Now they to avoid that, they put sometimes the pumping leg. So it means
cool.
that
That's
you
awesome.
don't have to use the wing. And if you have a small front wing, then you can't you just land and you are not that good. So now the idea is to keeping it accessible to everybody on the racing. So the race director always adapt the race depending of the racer.
Yeah.
The race. And on the freestyle, it's totally free. You can use the gear you want. You can do whatever you want. Sometimes the judges are what's that?
Yeah. Because I never see it. Okay, interesting. And since we are talking about a sailing sport, do you think we're going to have the same kind of drama with the SUP? Which is it, windsurfing federation that's taking it, or is it the kiteboarding, or is it the sailing overall, or where do you think? Where does it stand?
I heard it's already on the world sailing class.
Okay, so sailing like a boat.
Not
Well,
like a boat.
but is windsurfing is
Sailing
part of
like,
sailing too?
windsurfing.
Sailing like windsurfing.
No.
Okay.
But yeah, it's on the Sailing Federation, and I think it's a good choice because it's like just a sailing sport. So it's normal.
So the sailing, the world. So if we ever see an event like this where we are right now, instead of being, it would be run by the International Sailing Federation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is so interesting, and we could probably talk for hours because foiling is such a complex sport. But yes, important that it stays accessible. Just to explain to people.
Accessible to men and women, to kids,
yes,
to master. Like
yes,
you can come if you want. No.
I would love to.
And we're gonna go to Brazil, to Morocco, to Tarifa, to like many places.
Hopefully Maui, hopefully Maui someday would be nice. Then I'll be there.
And it's a new way to discover the world and
awesome.
Having fun.
Really looking forward to follow you more, to follow the sport more, and where the journey is gonna go. Thank you so much, Olivia. Really stoked. Mahalo. Okay, sorry. Supplementary question here, Olivia. We are talking about foiling always with wing and wave, but I always felt foiling is somehow a little bit like SUP, because if you want, you can do a foil race right here in this lake. You can do two guys on
like
this dock.
Like the fencer in Maui.
Yeah.
They just put the board on the water, they jump on the board and they fly.
So you could run on this dock, two guys, and pump out to this buoy and come back and make a two-man heat.
Yeah, why not?
Do people talk about this? What do people think about that? You could do this in a swimming pool if you wanted.
Today I don't think so.
You don't think so?
But I heard about the guys in Maui starting from the rocks, going outside, like pumping, going outside, doing downwind.
Yes.
And until like on the surf foil. You know?
Yeah. The guys catch a little wave and keeper just to get into the wave,
or
and then
even just starting like
jumping off the rocks. Yes, but
like in a wave or on the rocks.
Yes.
And in the gorge too. I saw a guy doing it.
Oh yeah,
and
crazy talent.
It's the next level, you know. And in Marseille we have this boat creating a big wave, like the shuttle going to the islands.
Mm-hmm.
And with the friends we are singing like, wow, we have to start from the harbor and jumping on the board, and then we go catching this wave. I don't know if the driver of the boat will be happy, but anyway we will be happy for sure. And then going to the island, doing a little like break on the island, and then going back.
Come back.
You know? And this is like, because at some point I missed the feeling of the physical effort like in SUP, you know.
Yes.
And with the pumping on the foil,
good training, good legs,
you feel it
and
very
cardio.
well. Yeah.
And that's always where I feel like that's where foiling is really adaptable to any body of water. With the pumping, you can have shootouts in a swimming pool, 50-meter swimming pool. You can do jump off the rocks. You could have a pump foil. Nowadays you can do a sprint race 200 meters. Guys will pump across there, and somehow I feel like nobody really.
Tomorrow I go. No.
You have one with you? You should.
I can find it.
There's a guy. I saw one booth over there.
It's a joke.
I think honestly, everybody I'm talking to says like, I don't think so, but I think having a pump, dock start, shootout with buoy course and two-man reads on a lake or wherever, I think, or imagine this, a big ramp and you slide down into the water.
Yeah, everything you want.
I have visions, guys, I have visions. So anyways, enough of that. Thank you so much. Foil vision here. Mahalo.